In the booth, the Hall of Famer, Greg Maddux. You gotten used to being called that yet?
Nah, it's kind of cool, though. It is. It's pretty special for me.
Well, congratulations, first and foremost. I think for any of us that watched the speech, from a Padre perspective, one thing stood out. You mentioned Buddy Black, you mentioned Darren Balsley, what they meant to you when you were here in San Diego. Maybe take us a little bit more into that and the impact those guys had on you.
Well, they were special people. Buddy was actually my first manager that was actually a starting pitcher and played golf. So, we kind of fit in really good right there. And it was nice to finally have a manager that was a starting pitcher to kind of understand what, the starters are going through every 5 days.
How was the Hall of Fame weekend? And obviously going in the same year as Bobby Cox and Tom Glavine must have really added to it.
Yeah, real special. I had a chance to go in with two of my teammates. I played half my career with Bobby and Glav. And also having Joe Torre there was also special as well because I got to play for him in L.A. And
Turner into center field. That's the first hit that Cashner's allowed.
So when you talk about the Hall of Fame itself, and you see Bobby and also Tommy Glavine, you asked to be the first guy to speak. Was that very important to you? Was that something that you wanted to get over and then listen to the other guys and kind of enjoy it?
Absolutely. That was actually my first speech I ever given was that weekend. So there was a lot of anxiety building up to that Sunday, and I wanted to hurry up and get out there and do it and get it over with and try to enjoy the rest of the speeches. And luckily they let me go first, and I was able to actually listen to what Glav and Bobby and Joe and the guys were saying.
What was the greatest part of that weekend? I mean, what was it? Just being there in that first day, the parade? What was the best?
Well, the best part was easily being in the hotel with the rest of the Hall of Famers.
A.J. Ellis into left field, and back-to-back singles for Turner and Ellis. I'll bring Dan Herron up. Probable bunt situation for the Dodger pitcher.
Yeah, the best part obviously was I grew up a huge Reds fan, and you walk into the hotel there in Cooperstown, and one of the first guys I saw was Johnny Bench. Then I saw Tony Perez and Tom Seaver, and those were the three guys for me that I grew up watching, and that was pretty special.
How much pride did you take in the defense, aside from all the obvious pitching stuff?
Well, I did. I think it's a huge part of the game. I know I pitch, but I also consider myself a baseball player, and I think you have to be able to field. You have to hit a little bit. Like right here, Cash has a line, and he's probably going to go for the strikeout now that he's got 2 strikes on him. So hopefully he'll chase something.
He bunts it foul. That is a strikeout. Number 5 on the night for Andrew Cash.
Greg, so many people talked about just being, having an understanding of what's between your ears. It's not necessarily velocity. It's not always the location, but that's basically what a lot of people, when they were challenged with that one-on-one against you and competing against you, that's what a lot of people talked about. What do you say to that statement, just having it between your ears?
Well, I think, I tried to understand how the hitter sees the ball, that, how's the ball going to come out of my hand, what's it look like to him, and that was kind of how I based my pitch selection, and hopefully I threw it where I was, trying to throw it. That's the game. You got to try to figure out how to get a strike on that hitter. You're not really trying to get him out. You're just trying to get a strike, and if he does happen to hit it, it stays in front of the outfield. So,
the common question I think a lot of people ask is, who's the most impressive pitcher that you've ever faced? And a lot of people that I've heard, you hear the responses. You would think it's a velocity guy. You would think it's Randy Johnson. You would think it would be Pedro Martinez when he was in his prime. And a lot of them say Greg Maddux because of the way you move the baseball. You change speeds. That's pretty awesome to hear, too, especially from your peers.
Yeah, it is pretty special. It's a nice compliment. You just kind of take it and you move on. And, a lot of times you don't believe half the things the hitters say in the first place. You think they're always trying to set you up for the next at bat. But, you're just trying to throw a strike that really you're just trying to throw a strike half the time. The only time you're ever trying to get really a hitter out is when you got 2 strikes on him. So, you try to throw a strike, and if he does happen to hit it fair, you hope it stays in front of one of your outfielders, and it's a pretty good at bat.
Well, Greg, what's next for you? What's going on in after baseball?
Well, just, I'm working a little part-time with the Rangers right now, so I get a chance to see a lot of their minor league players in Double and Triple A. I watch all the big league games every night. And I kind of do what I can to help my brother out when I can on a very limited basis, and, play golf.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, if you have 153 in and the pin's in the back, what are you hitting?
Yeah, that's probably going to be a hard 9. If it's in the front, I might try to hit a little 8 in there. Who knows? But, I like golf, and, I'm watching my kid grow up. He's going to be a senior in high school this year. So, I kind of loiter over there at the high school every now and then and try to do some bullpens occasionally with the pitchers and just kind of watching him do his thing.
What's the response you get from his friends? And obviously they've been around the house and all that stuff, but being at a high school throwing bullpens, it's pretty special to have.
Well, it is what it is. I'm just another coach to those guys,
Adrian Gonzalez,
congratulations, man. Great seeing you.
Greg, congratulations. The Hall of Famer.